Hello everyone, I am Shane1288 here with your weekly RuneScape Byte for January 29th, 2018. This week we got replayability for Sliske's Endgame. We're also given the option to replay with maze interactions only, and to make this our canon playthrough, though we can only do this once. We're also presented with our list of choices here in terms of what we did in the past leading up to Sliske's Endgame. As you can see, I sided with Saradomin in the Battle of Lumbridge, aided Armadil in Bird of the Beast. I gave Saradomin the sword in Death of Chivalry. I aided Zaros' return in Fate of the Gods. I did not betray Zamorak in Dishonor Among Thieves, and that, of course, would have been helping Sliske. I did sacrifice Elunid at the end of The Light Within. I also did not use the Dark Shard in The Light Within to restore Saren, and in Nomad's Requiem, death did not kill Gielinor. So as you can see here, this is the granular level of choices that we're able to make when it comes to Sliske's Endgame. We're also able to see a list of interactions and choose where these come in the quest. Though if you just choose interactions you'd like to see first, that doesn't appear to work, though we'll probably have more reasoning as to why this is the case on this week's episode of RSBANDBupdate. So you also have the option of skipping directly to the maze, though if you do this, you will forego the reward at the end of the quest. Now, you might be wondering what exactly reward could we get from replaying this? Well, you get the Agent of the Eldest outfit and a large prismatic lamp for your first replay of Sliske's Endgame, though you do not get anything for subsequent replays. We'll have full analysis of the replay of Sliske's Endgame on this week's episode of RSBANDBupdate, as when we did it, it was let's just say, almost a post-traumatic stress disorder-inducing quest. So, moving on to the other updates of the week. This week, also, the Elder Simulacrum outfit has been made available through divination, and this is one of those outfits that is insanely powerful when you combine all of the various pieces with it. Also, we have the addition of the skill head add-ons that you can get for doing various things in game. So just a couple of examples here. The blacksmith head add-on comes from working ceremonial swords in the artisan's workshop, and the farmer's head add-on comes from the cabbage face punch bonanza reward shop. The sous chef head add-on comes from a random chance of completing a gnome restaurant delivery, and the first age head add-on is purchasable from the Shady Ghost near the Ectofunctus. So there's some examples of where you can get these head add-ons if you don't already have them in-game. Now, moving on to the patch notes this week, there is a multitude of patches that are somewhat consequential, but we'll start with the smaller ones first. So first up, trying to activate an aura while on cooldown via the aura management icon will now display the cooldown time remaining. Players can now also no longer use box traps or mithril seeds to skip the Telos tendril attack. And on the same vein as this, players can no longer skip the next Angel of Death icicle mechanic using box traps as well. You gotta wonder how players found these. Now, moving on to perhaps the most interesting patch note of the week, and one that will definitely further the bank discussions we've been having on the podcast. It is now possible to bind action bars to a specific weapon style to allow automatic switching to a defined action bar upon equipping a main-handed weapon. This can be managed within the action bar settings interface located in the game settings. So now, once again, we'll be having that discussion this week. Is a bank rework really needed with an update like this? And how useful is this update? We'll find out on this week's episode of RSBANDBupdate. So if this video was at all useful to you, like or subscribe. Also, just as a reminder, RSBANDBupdate appears every weekend on this same YouTube channel. If you want to join us in-game, that's at Friends Chat BitsBytes if you want to play with us, and we look forward to seeing you there. We'll see you this weekend for another episode of RSBANDBupdate.